Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Rhonda Cimorelli with A Balanced Life for You. Welcome back. Today's lesson, we're continuing our topic on communication. And today is lesson 3 and we will be covering tonality. Now think back as a child and your mother said, "Don't use that tone of voice with me." And you might say, "What tone of voice?" Or if you were a teenager, you might have gone, "Yeah, what tone of voice?" Now, if you take note of what I just did, I also incorporated some of the body language that we talked about last week. So communication is about having conversations, sharing information, content with 2 or more people. Ideally, it's having a dialogue. Now, in this situation, I'm having a monologue with you because I'm the only one talking right now. But ideally, when you have a conversation and communicate with another person, you want to have a dialogue, which means a little give and a little take. And just as a recap, we have 4 parts of communication. As the giver, so today I'm the giver, you're the receiver. And my intention. So you want to think, what is my intention? What message am I wanting the other person or the group of people to understand from me? Part 2. What you actually say. Just to remind you, have you ever had those days where you open your mouth and you insert foot? It's not really what you meant to say, but again, you can't take it back. So we'll work on that at another day. Third part, the receiver. What did the receiver hear from you? Okay, because we all listen and we hear with our own set of filters. Okay, it could be based on our current mood, where we are at with the environment, amongst many other things. And last but not least, part 4 is what the receiver, the recipient, thinks you meant to say. So there are many different moving parts with communication, which is why the second lesson, I talked about body language, how important body language is. Are you attentive? Are you engaged? Are you excited? Or are you disengaged? Could you care less? Would you rather be somewhere else? Your body language will tell you a lot, and it will also tell the other person. You can read somebody's body language with their interest in what you have to say. So going forward, I'm going to encourage you to be attentive, up straight, ears open, eyes on me if you're able to watch this. And we're going to talk about tonality. Tonality is the meaning, is the sound that we give a meaning to each word. So what do I mean by that? I want to give you an example. Use the words, "What do you mean by that?" 6 simple words. What do you mean by that? Now, depending on the emphasis that I put on each word, it changes the meaning of the word and the whole sentence or question. For example, what do you mean by that? 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 Okay. So if you noticed, every word that had a different emphasis or I changed my tone had a different meaning for that same statement. Same is true when you're speaking to others. Think about, you want to become very aware of what you're saying, when you're saying it, how you're saying it. We're going to talk about word choices a little bit later. Now, let's go back to having a conversation with a teacher. Okay, if you're a student to a teacher, again, you want to show the teacher your interest or your attitude, if you will. Now, if you have a bad attitude, you're probably going to be all puffed up and really all tough, and you can have that face on, and your tonality might be a little disgruntled. However, if you would like assistance from that teacher, and you really do want some help, and you really do want to learn, your body language is going to be a little bit more open, a little bit more soft. Your hands will be a little bit down to your side. Your eyes will be open, and your voice will be a little softer. And you're going to use gentler sounds when having a conversation. if you're having a conversation with a BFF and there is a little riff going on, what's going to happen when you get your tone of voice going like this versus what's going to happen if we have a conversation from this perspective or from this tone? Now, I want to challenge you for the next day or two to be aware of the sounds that you're making with your voice when you're saying your words. Practice ahead of time if you think you want to have a conversation with somebody. What words would you use? What sound are you going to use with your words? Because you want to make sure that that gives the adequate meaning to them. You want to make sure the person hears what it is that you want to say to them and the meaning that you're trying to get across. All right, so this was a short lesson with tonality, and stay tuned. We'll talk next time about having conversations with adults and your peers, as well as texting in different language.